Spiritual Solution for Non-Religious People, prepared by Ekaterina Baithon. In this presentation, I will talk about wellness, the issue of atheism, develop a plan how to change your atheistic views, and the benefits of this plan. We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make our world. Buddha. When people talk of health, a lot of them imply physical and mental states. But the absence of boldly expressed diseases does not necessarily mean that the person is functioning at its top performance rates. In order to understand why this happens, one needs to take a look at the term of wellness. According to Zinfre's model, wellness includes medical health, immune function, lifestyle management, interpersonal relations, psychodynamics, energy forces, and spiritual beliefs and attitudes. Therefore, if a person is healthy, it doesn't necessarily mean that he or she is well. Despite the abundant information available on the topics of well-being, researchers currently see controversial trends in the life of modern society. Increase of life expectancy in some people and decrease of quality of life in others. Some progressive health and well-being consumers immerse themselves in such beneficial daily practices as healthy eating, regular exercise, and frequent meditations. These people also tend to take advantage of modern-day technology oriented toward increasing one's wellness, taking multivitamins, using fitness apps, and utilizing workout machines. On average, these people have better interpersonal relationships, earn higher income, live longer, and overall describe themselves as happy and motivated individuals. On the other hand, researchers define a group that leads the opposite lifestyle. They eat at fast food restaurants, do not work out, lack passion and drive, have lower income and shorter lives. In search for answers to such paradoxical trends, scientists turn to examination of people's core beliefs. On December 11, 2001, Mayo Clinic summarized nearly 350 studies of physical health and 850 studies of mental health that showed that religious and spiritual people were in better health and possessed higher levels of well-being than their opponents. Such findings suggest that atheism can be one of the issues at the root of many wellness problems. According to Pew Research Center, young individuals are more likely to be atheists. In 2014, 40% of people between ages 18 and 29, 37% of people between 30 and 49, 14% of people between 40 and 59, and only 9% over 60 years old considered themselves non-believers. Among atheists, men comprise 68% and women 32%. Most non-believers are white, 78%. One might conclude that loss of faith is determined by modern-day culture and availability of information on scientific research and discoveries. Skeptics can suggest that atheism is a natural occurrence that should not have any negative impact on society. However, 31% of atheists state that they feel at peace and well only about once a week, and 45% assert that they never or seldom feel well and at peace, which means that 76% of non-believers feel unhappy most of the time. Loss of faith can be so dramatic that it can even lead to suicide. On December 17, 2008, the Center for Science and Culture posted a podcast on the death of 22-year-old college student Jesse Kilgore, who, as the CSC claimed, shot himself after reading Richard Dawkins' anti-theistic book, The God Delusion. Even though Kilgore's case can be described as extreme, it is not uncommon for atheists to lose enthusiasm and will to live. This disappointment in life is not surprising. If one thinks that there is no point to his or her existence, then there must be no point in striving, raising children, and even living. In such a scenario, life is only a speck of time that leads to the imminent doom. This opinion is very discouraging and can cause anxiety, depression, overeating, obesity, and premature death. As atheism spreads rapidly among younger generations, researchers can only expect that accelerated growth in the future. The increase of numbers of non-believers would not be concerning if they would be driven, enthusiastic, and motivated people. But as most atheists admit, they do not feel happy, passionate, or inspired. Therefore, the world of future might look at a major human crisis where the civilization will be comprised of weak, apathetic, and indifferent people. As an author, I would like to contribute to a reversal of atheism takeover and educate individuals that they can find faith without joining any particular religion. I want to help my audience deal with depression, anxiety, and breathe inspiration and will to live into them. In his book, How to Achieve Ultimate Happiness, Deepak Chopra informs his readers that many doctors today prescribe drugs to depression-ridden patients. Some of these medications can cause side effects and addiction. However, Chopra asserts that there is a healthier way to banish melancholy and give people meaning to live: change their fundamental beliefs. In our modern-day society, ruled by science and new discoveries, a lot of people find themselves disappointed in religion. Unfortunately, Bible and Quran fail to satisfy some searching minds who choose to turn away from spirituality altogether and proclaim themselves atheists. But is this the right approach in the quest for truth? After all, orthodox or not, religion existed from the beginning of times, and in the very first civilization ever established, people were looking for divine. Even the first book discovered, the Epic of Gilgamesh, is about the search of God and immortality. So the question of faith bothered people since the very beginning of time, and individuals followed a variety of religions to fill their lives with meaning. Religion evolved according to era's demands and discoveries, geographical location and nations' views, leaders' personal preferences, and people's needs. Bible and Quran were written centuries ago in languages that were available for people of the epoch. Today, however, those texts fail to satisfy many young individuals. Therefore, such philosophers as Dr. Wayne Dyer believe that the time has come for the new faith to emerge, the faith that would embrace all contemporary science, philosophy, and psychology. In order to build one's faith back, scientific enthusiasts need to take a look at what was uncovered by the world's leading physicists and philosophers thus far. In high schools, children learn that our world's matter consists of molecules that are subdivided into atoms that consist of nucleus orbited by electrons. The number of protons, neutrons, and electrons define the type of chemical element, which, in its turn, defines an object. One of the biggest mysteries of physics has been the discrepancy between macro and microphysics. In the world of large objects, Newtonian laws are at work, while quantum physics operates by completely different rules. On subatomic level, particles can exist in several places at the same time and travel skipping large amounts of space, making quantum leaps. For many decades, scientists were trying to figure out how to tie the laws of macro and microphysics together until the supporters of string theory stepped into play. According to string theory, atoms can be divided into quarks that consist of tiny energetic fields known as strings. Strings vibrate at different frequencies, producing a so-called song. Our world makes music, and that is why, as Chopra states, it is called universe. When a person feels depressed, anxious, or angry, he or she falls out of the musical alignment, and the strings of their body produce a cacophony which leads to physical and mental illnesses. In order to align your body and spirit with the universe, one should practice peaceful and serene state of mind. That can be achieved by educating oneself on the questions of cosmos and psychology with such scientific and spiritual books as How to Achieve Ultimate Happiness by Deepak Chopra, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life by Dr. Wayne Dyer, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, and The Awakened Giant Within by Anthony Robbins. Another way to calm one's mind is to start and finish one's day in meditation. The American philosopher Dr. Wayne Dyer recommends the Zen practice called japa. It should be performed in a secluded, quiet place where one's mind can be at rest. It starts by producing the sound Om while counting the blessings of one's life. Next, while producing the continuous sound Ah, a person should send his or her intention for the day. An individual should end the day with a similar meditation by thanking the universe for a day and asking the peace and serenity before going to bed. Meditating, producing the sounds of Om and Ah is supposed to align individual's body and spirit with the vibrations of the universe, manifesting the person's intents in the most miraculous ways. To enhance body functioning, a person should also add physical workout 3 to 5 times a week. Deepak Chopra recommends exploring a variety of sports activities and alternating them throughout the week in order to work different muscle groups. For instance, individuals can attend an aerobics class on Monday to promote good cardiovascular health, take a horseback riding lesson on Wednesday to work leg and back muscles, play golf on Friday to strengthen arms and build up endurance, and practice yoga on Sundays for strength and flexibility. Dr. Wayne Dyer encourages his followers to find a hobby in alignment with their personal interests. Dyer states that when individuals trust themselves, they trust the wisdom that created them. The American philosopher came to such conclusions by studying the ancient Chinese text Tao Te Ching that was written in 500 BC by the wise man Lao Tzu. Tao translates from Chinese as the way and is described as a force that cannot be understood by people that yet comprises all living beings and all matter of the world. Lao Tzu argues that every person has Tao inside, and if one listens to what his or her heart desires, he or she can find the path to their destiny. If atheists can acquire and absorb the new set of beliefs that teaches people to view the world as an interconnected energy field, they can start making changes in their physical activity and mental patterns, which will eventually improve social, emotional, environmental, financial, occupational, and spiritual aspects of life. Meditation calms one's mind, promotes healthy breathing, and brings heart rate down. A variety of physical activities works different muscle groups, promotes good health, and boosts immune system. Finding one's calling and pursuing it will give a person a sense of meaning. Therefore, changing one's atheistic beliefs to spiritual can drastically improve one's quality of life and help him or her achieve the top levels of wellness. When people follow the wisdom that was accumulated by civilizations from the beginning of humankind and combine it with contemporary scientific, philosophic, and psychological knowledge, they will see a pattern that followed people all along: spirituality and faith. World of believers can also create a better, more evolved society with low crime and suicide rates. On a personal level, if an individual embraces the acknowledgement of higher power, he or she can become truly aligned not only with the outside world, but also with the universe within.